Welcome to the Planet Laundry Podcast. In this edition of the podcast, we chat with CLA Member of the Year, Colleen Unema of Brio Laundry in Bellingham, Washington. Colleen discusses her 10 years as a laundromat owner, shares some of the positive changes she's seeing in the business that have her excited about the future of the laundry industry, and reveals that Brio will soon be a second-generation family business. In addition, Colleen talks about her latest project, Brio Laundry University, which will be launched industry-wide in early 2023. The Planet Laundry Podcast is brought to you by Planet Laundry, the magazine of the Coin Laundry Association. This is the Planet Laundry Podcast. My name is Bob Nieman, and I'm the editor of Planet Laundry Magazine. Today, I'm with Colleen Unema of Brio Laundry in Bellingham, Washington. Colleen is a nationally certified teacher who taught for nearly 25 years from the high school level to college classes. However, business ownership was never far away. She grew up in retail with a number of self-employed family members. So the opening of Brio Laundry was kind of a natural move as an encore career. A year spent, doing laundry and laundromats, meeting other laundry owners, joining the Coin Laundry Association and attending CLA events, all contributed to her business plan and the eventual opening of Brio Laundry. And 10 years into this second act, Colleen has been named the CLA's Member of the Year for 2022. Colleen, thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, you bet. Anytime.
Yeah. Hey, congratulations for being named the Member of the Year. Well deserved.
Thank you.
What does that recognition mean to you?
I'm honored and I'm just as excited. The CLA has brought so many great people. We all get along, we learn from each other. We're all in this for a long haul. And so to be named Member of the Year, I'm just representing all the members. And I think we all have that attitude where we recognize good practice and we want to celebrate it.
Right. Perfect. Well, how did you first get involved with the CLA? Was it before you actually purchased your store and got into the business as you were doing your due diligence, or
Absolutely.
how did that?
How'd that go? So when I decided to leave teaching and started researching a new career and actually started doing laundry, I had 3 boys in exchange and I looked at laundry for a couple of reasons. And then way before I finished my business plan, my husband and I went to Excellence in Laundry. We just went as future investors. We met great people. Some of the same people we see today, right? Because like I said, so many people are in this for the long haul. And that was really encouraging to me that the same people come around. And some of that advice has been consistent over these many years. So it started before I had my plan done. So that was interesting.
Yeah. To see that it has staying power, and this is a good option for again that second act. Absolutely, you're right. Well, how specifically has the association helped you along that journey as you became a laundry owner, and as you stepped into that, and then you became more of a veteran laundry owner? How has it helped?
There's two things I think. The events help you meet people. And you get to go there with maybe, hey, you guys, what do you do about this? Or you listen. There's always nuggets. Everybody's got these nuggets.
Right.
They may have been in it longer. They may be in a different market, something they've done. The other one is all the white papers and the research and the stuff that's available. I like to research and I like to read. So all things laundry. So you go there, and if it's not a podcast or an interview, it's a paper, it's a survey. Like I read those surveys, I love those surveys. So the CLA is kind of faceted that way. The website gives you access to all that stuff that you in one place. You don't have to go Google it.
Right. Perfect. Great points. Well, certainly when you decided to hang out your shingle, become self-employed, you had a lot of options. So what initially piqued your interest in the laundromat industry specifically?
Well, when I have some self-employed siblings, and like I said, I have a very large extended family. Like I'm talking very large. And I'll bet 80% are in their own business. So if
Is
we
that
have a
right?
4th of July party, I have
Hmm.
65 first cousins. So,
Right.
like in Main Street of our little town, I bet there's 6 of my first cousins, and they're second
Hmm.
generation businesses. So if
Right.
you get together with my family, you're talking about marketing, you're talking about hours, you're talking about employees, you're talking about this stuff, right?
Right. Right.
So when I kind of talked about laundry, there was a couple of other industries I was thinking and considering and weighing the options. And then my
Hmm.
brother said, "Gosh," he says, "Hey, Colleen, think about this one. Yours will make money when you're not there." I was like,
Right.
"Oh." And then the other one that everybody talks about is accounts receivable, right? You don't want
Hmm.
accounts receivable because I'm
Hmm.
not an accountant and I don't want to have accounts
Hmm.
receivable, although I do
Sure.
now because of the commercial laundry. But at the time,
Right.
that was like a big plus, right?
Right.
Easy
Right.
financials.
Hmm.
So for me, I was like, "Oh man, that's cool."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those
So,
those are all, talking to people. And then
right.
the lifestyle. I like the people.
Hmm.
They're like my people. How do you say that? You're comfortable with these
Yeah.
people because they're my people.
Right. 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 Very good. Very interesting. Yeah. Well, you and I, we bumped into each other a couple times at the Clean Show this summer,
Mhm.
and new laundry technology seemed to be everywhere in Atlanta.
Yes.
Were
Oh
you
my
looking for
goodness.
anything specifically? What types of new things kind of caught your eye?
W- Uh, we were looking at automation, looking at
Hmm.
ways to make it more intuitive for our customer,
Hmm.
portable, easy to, like train your employees on,
Hmm.
intuitive. So, it's that cell phone idea, right?
Hmm.
It all seems so
Right.
intuitive, right?
Hmm.
Laundry, trying to remove all the barriers, right? For all different groups to come in and do laundry with me and,
Hmm.
and, and invite them to do more laundry. Like, what
Hmm.
else can we wash? And how could we automate how else we do this? So, specifically, there was we just, Travis was with me and we got very excited about this kiosk for dry cleaning, drop off, and pickup. And I tell
Right.
you why. Dry cleaning drop off is a thing.
Hmm.
It's a people, we have no time to talk to them. They've been
Really.
just programmed to just kind of drop it off. Here's my dry cleaning. When do I pick it up? Whereas
Right.
in the laundromat world, you've got time with people. That that's a shock. So we were thinking, oh, we love this idea because they can interact with the screen. It goes really fast. It's intuitive. Put it in a
Hmm.
bag, put it in this thing, and the way
Hmm.
that these kiosks work, you punch in your number, and out comes your dry cleaning.
Right.
And we can't keep dry cleaning away from our store, right? It just
Hmm.
happens. You just can't
Hmm.
stop it. So
Right.
I don't know, we got kind of excited about the automation. We also got
Yeah.
excited about loyalty cards that aren't physical anymore. They're more of a
Hmm.
digital wallet. Love that idea.
Right.
Right? Just
Right.
help these people reduce all the barriers to come in and start my machine.
Hmm. Yeah. Give them every way they can to
Every
use your
way they can.
business.
Yep.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Right. Well, also in Atlanta this past summer, it felt like there was a new energy at the trade show, like a new generation of operators kind of taking
Yeah.
hold. And did you feel that a bit? Like there's sort of an
Oh,
evolution
a lot.
underway in the industry?
Absolutely. I just
Yeah.
felt like the the energy, the youth that I saw, and
Right.
I'm older, so I'm looking at they're probably 35 or 40. I don't know, but I'm calling them kids because they're my kids' age. But
Right.
they they're looking at things very differently.
Hmm.
They're looking at it multiple careers at one time. They're used to jumping careers, like I had a career and launched into
Hmm.
laundry. Okay. I'll
Right.
have two in my lifetime.
Right.
They will have three or four or five. And so they're not afraid to say, oh, I might try this for a while. Or, hey guys, have
Hmm.
you thought about this? Let's partner with this,
Hmm.
this, this, and this. And we just are siloed. We don't tend to
Hmm.
be that link together. And what I saw happen at a dinner table just sort of blew my mind. They have these
Yeah.
digital business cards, right? And they're all just tapping their phones together and they're
Hmm.
sending, I don't know, and I'm like, I got cards here, people. You know what I mean? I got
Right.
physical cards.
Yeah.
I was alone at the table with a physical card.
Mhm.
It's
Right.
faster. It's more. It's I don't know. It's authentic. It's real.
Mhm.
And I think there's a group aging out. And my group saw the credit card at the machine, and that was a big deal.
Mhm.
We saw kiosks, we saw remote starts, we saw cloud computing
Mhm.
hit our POS systems. We saw all that. That's all
Right.
taken for granted now, and now they're launching. Their
Right.
connectivity to each other is going to
Mhm.
be huge, huge.
Right. Right.
No, I felt the
Yeah.
energy. I thought it was exciting.
Yeah, I think it's very exciting, and it's certainly
Yeah.
imagine what's gonna happen at the next clean show 3 years from now. Just seeing the
Just
changes,
thought that too.
it's yeah, it's moving so fast.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of evolution, how has Brio Laundry evolved over the years?
There's two ways I think we have evolved. The number one way was management. I
Mhm.
did it all, right? I was the manager.
Right.
Scheduled everybody, did everything. And then after a while, you get to this point where, like, okay, we need a manager, and they
Mhm.
need to do quality control on our drop off and the store and things like that. Well, then you extend your hours and you extend your days, and you're thinking, okay, we need team leads. So to have tiers within that management layer, even though I can't say they do the back office stuff. That can be cloud computing and that can be offsite. But to have a
Mhm.
manager is our biggest change, and have team
Mhm.
leads and shift leads and give everybody procedures and
Mhm.
policies so that it can operate very smoothly.
Mhm.
That was the goal, not do ups and downs. Oh, we got to wait for Colleen to get here.
Right.
No, give them decision power and the kind of the structure that they need to make good decisions. That's
Right.
the number one change.
Mhm. Right. Right. Anything else? Anything else that's kinda strikes you as far as how your business is, it's not the same as it was, 10 years ago?
No, no. The
Okay.
other thing,
Okay.
we got very busy, so we had to deal with lots of busyness, and
Right.
how to meet the need of a customer when there's so
Mhm.
many, right? Or they come in big
Mhm.
groups.
Right.
We're
Right.
jockeying machines and things like this. The other that so that leads me to this. I had to increase the training of my employees, very much
Mm.
so. Um,
Mhm.
I I I'll go right into my first. I think my biggest mistake, and my first biggest mistake.
Mhm.
In this business, you can't make very many. We're so capital
Right.
intense. So you
Right.
really got to think things through. You got to be pretty astute about this. But what
Mhm.
I assumed when I hired people at the beginning was that they had my business's best interest in mind. But in reality, they're worried about their puppy at home.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
worried about their car, and they need
Mhm.
to go get the dentist office, whatever. They have other
Mhm. Mhm.
concerns. So
Right.
I had to I we called them like tips of the day. Literally, I wrote a
Yeah.
book on how
Mm.
to meet the needs of our customers and the store, and they can't vary from that. I don't really that improvisation of them making decisions as they go is kind of out the window. They
Right.
it's my decision and you just follow it. And so they've
Right.
been very happy
Mhm.
people because they don't have to make the decision. They can solve a problem, but they know they're doing
Mhm.
the right thing.
Right.
So
Right. It
that
takes the
that was
pressure
big.
off and
Mm, exactly. So they can just come to work and there's not
Mhm.
this, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do, you know.
Right. 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 Well, I mean, that kinda leads me into, you've created, an actual university to teach employees how to
Yep.
do laundry. Uh,
Yes.
tell me about that. Did it evolve out of this or, please tell me about that.
Oh yeah, overtime. I'm telling you. After a while you go in and you're like, that's not exactly how we fold socks. And
Mhm.
our delivery, our process of doing laundry is very, very specific. And
Mhm.
it doesn't matter who's doing the job, the customer gets it. Now imagine, and I say this all the time, my brand is now in the intimacy of their bedroom on their bed getting ripped open because we wrap in paper, and the
Right.
smell has to be amazing, the presentation has to be just top notch. That brand, that right there, it's all sensual, and it's the most important piece. So the way the socks get folded is a big deal. right?
Right.
So I have to train my employees. How important is it that the socks are folded beautifully and the undies and the t-shirts and all these
Right.
things?
Right.
And it just kind of occurred to me like, my goodness, I have a degree in education here. I looked, just like, let's do something real for people that they
Mm-hmm.
can learn this in bite-sized pieces and go back and review. And I had a place to say, hey, people, you need some refresher. You go back to lesson 100.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
hired a
Mm-hmm.
company. It's a legit university, as in
Mm-hmm.
they log in. There's a student union. There's a um, what I call dryer
Really?
side chats, little videos of
Okay.
updates of how to do things, and they can post photos of what they like, and then
Okay.
or questions, right? Oh, I have
Mm-hmm.
this, I have a problem, but then the answer's posted for all to see. So, for instance, I had Travis hire a new person. I said, okay, I'm not going to even touch them until they've completed the university. There are 400, there's 100, 200, 300, 400, and there's 8 lessons in each one. So
Mm-hmm.
I dialed it in, Bob,
Mm-hmm.
like
Right. It
how to
sounds like
load
it.
a washer, because people don't always know,
Mm-hmm.
and doing laundry at home is way different than doing laundry in a laundromat. Let me tell you, when you need to
Mm-hmm.
produce, it's got to go
Mm-hmm.
fast. It's got to be wrinkle free. It's got to move through. So
Right. Right.
that was it was kind of like the mother invention, right? I did it because I
Right.
had to, and
Right.
now we
Right.
put finishing touches on it. And it occurred to me, I think, at the last excellence that, gosh, there's a lot of people who are sitting there like me, like, I can't, I can't train one more person. That
Mm-hmm. Right.
so
Right.
so we're
So this
making
is
it available. It'll be at
okay.
January. It'll be available to anybody who wants their
Okay.
people to learn how to do laundry, as in a wash, dry, fold scenario,
What a
commercial
great,
laundry.
yeah, what a great teaching tool. That's
Yeah.
really interesting. That's
Plus,
awesome.
I get to
And that
teach again.
and you get to teach again. It
Yeah, I
comes full
know.
circle.
It did. I couldn't believe it. Yeah,
Right. Right.
I love it.
Now you had mentioned your son Travis a few times already. Now he has taken over the day-to-day operations at Brio.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
can you tell me about that and what initiated that change and how does that affect your role in the business?
So he's always been an investor, and he has
Okay.
been active duty Coast Guard for almost 10 years. So when I started Brio, he went left in the Coast Guard. He's been in the Middle
Hmm.
East, he's been all over the world. So
Right.
he was in Guam, and we're coming up on that year 8, year 9, and my business plan ends at year 10. I'm going to sell this thing in year 10.
Hmm. Hmm.
That And so we had this university going. I'm like, this is perfect. I get to do the university. I get to sell the business. So I send the email to all the kids, all our kids and some relatives, like, hey,
Hmm.
this is what it's up.
Right.
He says, hey, I'm flying in from Guam. Okay, 14-hour flight.
Right.
And I'm going to talk to you and dad. And we're like, oh, well, first, maybe there's a woman in his life. But no, it wasn't that at all. It was, hey, I want to do Brio. I was shocked. I couldn't be more excited. He has a
Right.
business acumen that eclipses me. His instinctive, intuitive business sense is much more bubbly to the surface than mine.
Hmm.
And so that was fantastic. But I said to him, I still want to sell the business. So for the past year and a half, almost a year, yeah, I guess a
Hmm.
year, he has been doing we transitioning to daily operations.
Right.
And so, like, he's looking at this automation. He made purchases at the clean show to
Hmm.
automate and change up things. And so, as of January 2023, he
Hmm.
will own it. And I become the silent investor. I become the chancellor of Laundry University. And he will he will take it to the next level.
Right. Right.
So
Very good.
that's our
Very good.
plan. And
Yeah.
I could not be more excited that it's my own son,
Oh,
and that I
right.
trust him implicitly, right?
Right. Right. You know it's in good hands and it's kind
Yeah,
of carrying on the legacy of Brio
yeah,
Laundry. Absolutely.
yeah. And he
Um,
believes in it because he helped make it, you know?
right. Right. He's been there from the beginning, so he knows.
Yep,
Absolutely.
yep,
Yeah. Now, you've also recently partnered with Aloha Laundry Life. Can you
yes.
explain this new facet of your business life and how
Yeah.
that works and how that fits in, please. Yeah.
Okay. So they contacted me a couple of years ago because it's a national startup. It's a very interesting startup for Wash Dry Fold in that they want to take basically entrepreneurs who want to just have a virtual laundromat. They want a wash dry fold route, and then
Hmm.
they'll go to trusted laundromats to do that business. So I was contacted by them in two regards. One, we have Brio. What a perfect partner for some entrepreneur who wants to set up their Aloha business.
Right.
Two, I'm like, well, that's cool because they come in and I don't have to do the work, right?
Right.
We like
Right.
time out on the wash dry fold. We got more than enough. I'm not
Right.
looking for more. And we have a tiny little route. We're rural, right? I can't go 30 miles in the mountains. So we have a
Hmm.
tiny little route, half days. We get enough. It's actually a lot. And because they know our name, right? We're so branded. So
Hmm.
this I thought to myself, oh, this is kind of
Yeah.
cool. I would launch some
Yeah.
of my own people to be these entrepreneurs because
Hmm.
they could extend my route. They could take a
Hmm.
smaller community and make a go of it. They could go on the
Right.
days we don't go, the afternoons we don't go. So and then they said, okay, we have people that we want to set up, but they don't know how to do laundry. And I said, all right, let's so we blew apart the university
Right.
that we had and we made it better. Just blew it to bits. And it was good.
Okay.
And we had to make it better and more usable so that
Hmm.
Aloha Laundry Life people, when they're onboarded now, they all go through the university. Because
Oh,
the
okay.
premise of their work, they're not going to make money if they don't know how to do laundry
Hmm.
and produce. It's production style. It's not like you do at home. It's
Right.
using really good products so you don't have to rewash, and all the tricks of the
Hmm.
trade I've learned are in there. So
Right. Right.
that's my involvement with them, and it's really fun to
Okay.
watch it grow. They're in the
Hmm.
major cities. Of course, we're a beta test every time for software
Right.
develop things like that. So
Yeah.
it's it's going to be interesting to watch them. This is not a DoorDash or Uber. This is
Hmm.
not bringing laundry to me for me to do. Right?
Right.
They are doing
Right.
their own laundry.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's an interesting connection there between Aloha and your university, and it's
Yeah.
exciting
Yeah.
things happening for sure.
And
Hey,
I met
Cal.
the guys who started it out at a
Yeah.
CLA event.
Right. Okay.
Imagine
All right.
that. It
Again,
was a
back to the.
breakfast over here it was breakfast over here in Seattle, and we were
Hmm.
talking, and that was the
Hmm.
initial meeting of the founder and myself
Hmm. Hmm.
years ago.
And
Years ago.
it's amazing how those things work out like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Colleen, after 10 years of doing this, what do you enjoy most about the laundry industry?
You know, I love I say this all the time. I love
Hmm.
laundry. I love
Hmm.
the people. I love meeting
Yeah.
the customers. I love innovation. I like change. I like the chaos of starting something new. I like I think the laundry has allowed me to be really creative and it be appreciated.
Hmm. Right.
That's the bottom line.
Right. Right.
And
Perfect.
it's, I get to
Well,
be independent.
mhm.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Well, by contrast, what have you found most challenging in this industry over the years?
I think it's there's two things that can happen. You can get bored, right? You can get
Hmm.
kind of stuck in your ways and you can't see out of it. And I
Hmm.
put together a board of advisors early on so that I have to report to them every quarter or every half a year and talk about the forest if I can't see the trees kind of thing. And
Hmm.
these are
Hmm.
retired CEO types and
Right.
they're like, "Well, what about this?" Or they'll look at the financials and go, "Whoa, this is creeping up. Um,
Right.
why are you outsourcing that when you could be doing that?" Or just
Hmm.
questioning my what I've settled into. I think settling is a natural thing that happens, but
Hmm.
you have to look at each day and go, I'm going to go in and I'm going to talk to those regular customers, but I'm just going to
Hmm.
ask them, you know, do you
Yeah.
like what we do here? So I
Right.
do surveys all the time. but it keeps
Mhm.
me from being bored.
Mhm. Mhm.
That makes
Right.
sense.
It's easy to get stagnant in
It
any
is. It is.
arena for sure. Yeah.
And it
Okay.
is. And here's what I see happen. If I go into other people's laundries, I'll walk in and you know how you walk by a chair and there's a magazine sitting on the floor, not on the stool, or there's a
Right.
candy wrapper, and you know that owner walked by that, right?
Yeah.
Whoa, they didn't see it anymore.
Right.
That
They're too
is
close
what.
to it. Yeah.
Mhm. And it's like you have to go in somebody else's store, see it, and go, I'm gonna go back to mine and see if I see that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, very good. That's an excellent example. What are going to be some of the hot button issues for laundromat owners as we head into 2023?
This was a good question, Bob, and I really think it will be state mandates regarding minimum wage,
Mhm.
benefits, in addition to what will come down federally for Family Leave Act and things like that. Our
Right.
states are all jumping on board with mandatory sick pay, and this idea that there is no such thing as a full-time person, part-time person. They all get if you offer benefits to one, you offer them to all.
Right.
Those kinds of mandates are going to be the buttons, because some people don't have a revenue share or revenue income that can deal with like up to 25-30% increase in pay rate.
Right.
So those are tough choices, tough things to implement.
Mhm.
Labor and Industries has its own things coming down the pike. Employment security has its own things coming down the pike.
Right.
I have a feeling it'll all relate to that employee and the cost
Mhm.
to employ.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Right. Right. Good point. Well, traditionally, laundromat ownership and the industry in general have been male dominated arenas.
Yeah.
Given that, what advice would you give to other women who are looking to get into the laundromat industry?
Do your homework, and I'm going to go back to my notes here,
Hmm.
because
Sure.
I I really think it's follow your instinct.
Hmm.
If you have an idea and you have a plan and you can justify the plan, you have to know your numbers. You have to know these things, and then it's stick with it. And that's doesn't matter if you're anybody, right? You stick with it. But
Right.
as a woman specifically, I think the ability to articulate why what you're going to do is working, why
Hmm.
it will work or why it is working, and then be
Hmm.
able to, because you have processes, you can go backwards and say, oh, this is why it works, or this is what I have to change and made in order to make it work better. I think
Hmm.
I think there has to be a little bit um, more analytical than just it's. So I'll give you an example in my store.
Sure.
Okay, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, and everybody walks in and goes, "Holy cow, this is beautiful!" And I did. I put the money in design. I put the money in accoutrements. It is beautiful, and it still is beautiful. But that's not what builds a business. You have to have the backside. You have to say, okay, I've got this many machines. I got to turn this many times a day, and
Right.
customers need to use two machines, not one. Et cetera, et cetera. So the training then becomes really, really important. So I think the initial piece of it is they may have this idea in their head or this thought or this plan, but it's that next step, communicating it in a
Right.
way that's understood by the general population of the industry, which is male
Right.
dominated. And
Hmm.
I've taught chemistry and biology in all male college faculty, so that's I was used to it.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think that's part of it. I didn't even hardly see it because I was just used to it.
Right. Right.
There's
Right.
not
Well,
very many chemistry or physics or people out there.
right. Right, right, right. Well, what do you think can be done to encourage more women to enter the laundry industry, and especially in the more male-dominated roles, such as store
Yeah.
ownership or management, engineering, things like that? What do you think can be done to turn that around a little bit?
Well, the start was this breakfast we had, or this luncheon we had last at the Excellence, or the last Clean Show, sorry. And it
Yeah.
was a women in laundry event. That was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
There's not that whole table we had, that I was at a table of 8. We still keep in contact with each other. Now, here's what's interesting. Of that
Mm-hmm.
table, I think 3 of us had existing laundries, and the rest of them were like interested.
Right.
So I think their potential to succeed went up exponentially because they
Mm-hmm.
have a friend in the business, and
Mm-hmm.
it's that uh, oh, they I don't want to own a laundromat, but my goodness, I could sell machines. Because,
Mm-hmm.
so for instance, at my table, there were a couple of women who were in pharmaceutical sales. That's outside
Mm-hmm.
sales. They should own distributorships. So
Mm-hmm.
somehow,
Right.
I think it's up here reaching down and saying, hey, we're going to have a summit at this distributorship in this state. If you are remotely interested,
Mm-hmm.
and the venue to do that is through Women in Laundry events.
Right.
They just had 100 and some sitting there. I don't think they should
Mm-hmm.
lose track of those 100 and some people.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Those connections are
Oh
invaluable, and
yeah.
that networking
It,
is what gives you the leg up to keep going. Yeah.
yeah.
Great points. Great points. Earlier, you alluded to some mistakes you had made early on in the business. What's the biggest mistake you've ever made in this business, if you care to share it?
It would be thinking my employees really wanted to help me build my business, right? They
Right.
they I'm
Right.
telling you, it's true. They really are more concerned about their dog
Hmm.
or their
Right. Right.
boyfriend that they broke up
Perfect.
with the night before. So
Perfect.
you have to build a system that they perform and they feel really great, but they don't feel really great because you like them. They feel
Hmm.
really great because they succeeded in their best efforts. And
Right.
so one of my biggest mistakes was too high of expectations um, for
Hmm.
some individuals. And when I realized I have real people, it sounds crazy, but when I
Hmm.
realized I've got people of the whole spectrum, let's just celebrate who they are and have them do the
Right.
best they can. So I,
Right.
I call it bookending, right? They bounce between the bookends, and
Hmm.
the bookends are different for each person. And
Right.
within that, let's train them up to be the best they can be. And I always tell them, when you
Hmm.
leave my company, when you leave me, um, you need to go to a more complex environment and more money.
Hmm.
And some
Right.
of them are like, oh, really? And nice to make them sign it, right? I'm going to give you
Yeah. Right.
training. I'm going to do whatever it takes. So I had a young
Right.
man who worked for me, and I sent
Mhm.
him to tailoring school. He could sew. He was good. And I said,
Right.
there's going to be a lack of people who know how to sew and do alterations on men's suits and jackets in the future. So
Right.
while you work for me, I'm going to send you to school. And he did. And now
Hmm.
that's what he does.
Wow. What a
But
great thing.
could
Yeah.
he do some of these other things I was asking him? Not at all. He was kind
Hmm.
of a don't ask
Yeah.
that kid to fold laundry.
Right.
So I had to learn. Let's
Right.
let's let people be who they are.
Right. Right. Very
They're
good.
not
Very good.
automatons, and they're not all the same.
Right. Right. Uh, we had talked a little bit about the women invented laundry luncheon at Clean, that networking and that advice that you can get back and forth.
Mhm.
Who and where do you turn for business advice?
When I first opened, I had a SCORE counselor, seniors corporate executive. It's in every community. I think
Hmm.
it's sponsored by the SBA. And I also
Hmm.
went to the Small Business Development Association every month. They would have a little luncheon to help new businesses kind of keep momentum.
Yeah.
And then after that, I put together a board of advisors. And I have to say, of all the things that I always had them. Storms can come, or COVID and things.
Right.
Instantly, I go to them like, what's my marketing message now? What do I do now? I can only be open a
Right.
certain number of hours and this, that, and the next thing. So they have, because they've grown with the company, they know the history of the company and they know me, and they
Mhm.
give good advice, right? Really
Mhm.
good advice. The
Right.
trick with any advice, the trick is that you take it
Right.
and
Absolutely.
act on it. If
Yeah.
you ask for advice, be prepared to act on the advice that you've been given.
Mhm.
If you
Right.
don't, they're going to stop
Mhm.
giving you advice.
Right. Very good. Very good. Well, a lot of changes at Brio Laundry, as we've talked about. What are your business goals for 2023? A lot of different things, a lot of moving parts. But
Yes.
what are you shooting to get done next year?
Automation.
Okay.
So we have a laundromat, a dry cleaner, professional garment care, and we have a commercial laundry. So it's it's automation, like especially on routes, right? If we have a
Hmm.
commercial account that's near a residential account, we've got to think better about our routes. We've got to have a tool there to help us
Right.
get just be very much more smarter on that piece. That's automate some of that. So our drivers
Hmm.
don't make any decisions. They follow the route and they
Hmm.
pick up the laundry that's supposed to be picked up.
Right.
The other side is the university, of course, is going to launch in 2023, and I'm I like the Coin Laundry group of people. I don't want to leave the Coin Laundry group of people. I think it's just a fun group to. I just had a call the other day from a. She's was at the women's luncheon. No, she couldn't make it
Hmm.
this time. She's been at other events, right? But we keep in
Hmm.
contact all the time. I want
Right.
that. I want I want that what I say matters to people, and I want to talk to people who what they say matters to me. And that's what I found in the Coin Laundry. So
Mm-hmm.
in 2023, I want Travis to find his place
Hmm.
in the community with his board of advisors, to grow this company. For me,
Right.
it's if somebody wants to do something like Brio or Brio itself, I would
Hmm.
say absolutely I can help. I'm at the end of the
Right.
phone. I'm available.
Hmm.
If you're having trouble making money doing wash, dry, fold, I can help.
Right.
Just
Right.
want to be there,
Perfect. Right.
in the
Right.
middle of it all.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, in general, what does the future hold for the laundromat business
I
overall?
think it's in general, the
Hmm.
paradigm is changing.
Hmm.
I and still what's really fascinating is people say, well, what about don't people have their washers and dryers in their own homes? And I would over half of my customers absolutely do, but they come to a laundromat because one, it's faster and they don't have to pay for the water, and it's convenient, I think, and it's
Hmm.
intuitive and it's got friendly people. So the paradigm is changing as to who our customers are. And I think we forget sometimes that it's not just one group of people. We've got perfect customers, and we've got to keep
Hmm.
reaching those perfect customers, because if you don't market or you don't brand or you don't
Hmm.
think, if you think I will build it, they will come, the they that you get is just a tip of the iceberg. There's a lot
Hmm.
more theys out there, and you've got to find that marketing message for them.
Right.
And it's a drip, right? It's like it's that
Hmm.
the mark I
Hmm.
call it drip marketing, right? It's just constant. There are
Right.
people moving in, moving out. And I have one gal, she's got two sets of everything, but she comes to our laundry, puts her headphones in, watches her
Hmm.
movie, and goes to
Right.
town.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Right.
It's
Perfect.
changing.
Yeah, it is. It is. Uh, Last question for you, Colleen, and I really
Mhm.
appreciate your time today, as I've appreciated your time for the last 10 years. You've
Yeah.
always been very gracious with your input with the magazine, so I just wanted to get that out there that I do appreciate all you've done for us and for me personally. But what's the most gratifying aspect of your time in the laundromat business?
I think raising up the employees for launching beyond my
Hmm.
job. They're hourly, and it is for them a job. For me, it's critical, right? Mission critical that they
Mhm.
do everything to make my
Right.
business grow.
Right.
um,
Yeah.
the gratifying aspect is when I see them launch to a more complex environment, better pay, and they're moving their life forward. And
Mhm.
we do coaching. We do financial coaching. We get investment people in there. I have speakers come for staff meetings. So raising them up and growing them up to the best they can be has been the most satisfying and gratifying part of it all.
Mhm. Wonderful.
I have an alumni group, put it that way.
There you go. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything that I didn't ask that you would like to get out there, that you would like to comment on, or just with your entire journey throughout this industry? Anything I didn't ask?
Um, no, but I think we all would understand. You can go to an auction. My husband is a professional in engineering, so we go to
Mhm.
these events and people will say, "Oh, dear, what do you do?"
Mhm.
And when I say I own a laundromat, "Oh, what about those Seahawks?" It's the paradigm is so strong out there of 30 years ago, 20 years
Mhm.
ago. I think
Right.
in our world, in the CLA, the zombie mats, right? They
Right.
still eclipse, that paradigm still eclipses all of us who have tried to change that industry.
Mhm.
So I just think there's going to be legion of us changing that paradigm in the next 10 years, and it's going to be pretty amazing. It's going to
Perfect.
be really fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's really fun to
Absolutely.
watch already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just moving along. So,
Yeah.
Colleen, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, as
You're
always,
welcome.
to chat with you. And again, congratulations on the honor of Member of the Year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us on our podcast today. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe to Planet Laundry at planetlaundry.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube.